The landmark case of Salomon v. Salomon Company Limited, 1897. Have you ever wondered why business owners aren't personally responsible for their company's debts? Well, the answer lies in a landmark case, Salomon v. Salomon Company Limited, which shaped corporate law. Let's go back to 1892 and meet Mr. Aaron Salomon, a successful leather merchant in the UK. He had been running his business as a sole trader for years. But then, he made a big decision. He decided to incorporate his business into a company called Salomon Company Limited. Under company law, for a company to be registered, there needed to be at least 7 shareholders. To meet this requirement, Mr. Salomon included his wife and children as shareholders. However, he himself held the majority of shares and had complete control over the company. Now, here's the interesting part. By incorporating the business, Salomon was no longer personally responsible for the company's debts. Instead, the company became a separate legal entity. At first, business was doing well. The company was making profits, and everything seemed fine. However, soon, financial trouble hit. The business started struggling, and to keep it running, Salomon borrowed money and issued secured debentures against the company's assets. Unfortunately, the situation worsened. The company couldn't recover and had to be liquidated. This meant that all the assets were sold to repay the creditors. However, there was not enough money to cover the debts. The creditors were furious. They argued that Mr. Salomon had set up the company as a sham to escape personal liability. Since he was the true owner and decision maker, they believed he should personally repay the debts. The case first went to the High Court, which ruled against Salomon, stating that the company was merely his agent and that he was personally liable for its debts. Salomon didn't accept this decision and took the case to the Court of Appeal. But again, the ruling was against him. The court stated that Salomon had abused the concept of incorporation and used the company as a mere facade to protect himself from liability. However, Salomon didn't give up. He took the case to the House of Lords, the highest court at the time. And this is where history was made. The House of Lords ruled in favor of Salomon. They held that Salomon Company Limited was a separate legal entity, independent from its owner. This meant that Salomon was not personally liable for the company's debts. The creditors could only claim from the company's assets, not from Salomon's personal wealth. This judgment established the doctrine of separate legal entity, a fundamental principle in company law. So, what does this mean for businesses today? Because of this case, once a company is legally incorporated, it is treated as an independent entity. Even if a person owns most or all of the shares, the company itself is responsible for its debts, not the owner. This is what allows businesses to take risks, expand, and attract investors without fear of personal financial ruin. From small businesses to giant corporations like Amazon, Tata, and Microsoft, every registered company operates under this principle of limited liability. It protects business owners and shareholders from being personally responsible for corporate debts. However, there are exceptions. Courts can sometimes pierce the corporate veil, which means ignoring the company's separate identity, if they find that it was created to commit fraud or evade legal responsibilities. Despite this, the Salomon v. Salomon case remains a cornerstone of corporate law. It paved the way for modern company structures and gave businesses the confidence to grow while limiting personal liability. And that, my friends, is how a single case changed the way companies work.